Hello, my fellow bedbug bit butt cheeks. I'm Mr. Church. Today we are going to be looking at the new update in the item shop, and it is wow. It's hard to even put into words. I'm blown away and staggered by what we have today. We have a Switchback Power Armor bundle, which is new, so it has a new tab on it. This is something that's never been in the shop before. And then over here we have something that we call this false advertising. It says new, and it's a bunch of old items. Now this isn't new items. What happened is they're bundling it together for the first time because it was on a scoreboard. So what they discovered is they can take stuff from old scoreboards, put it in the shop, and call it new, even though it's already in the game and a lot of people already have it. So we also have the Whirl Wizard. That's something we'll look at. And we have some interesting stuff in the greatest hits and also in the free and special. So let's get into this. The Switchback Power Armor bundle. Now this of course comes with the Switchback Power Armor paint, the Switchback paint minigun, the Switchback jetpack, and the Switchback player title prefix. They remembered they can put the prefix there in the picture so that they have enough pictures for how many stuff they have listed. It's all out of order, of course, because we're not going to put that much energy and time into our jobs because that's what we get paid for. The prefix, you can equip that by going into your Pip-Boy, go over to the prefixes tab in the stats, and you can mix and match that with any suffix you already have. And then when you're on a team, you'll see that like after your name, and then other people will see it hovering over your head under your player name. And so that's really nice if you want to look like a switchback. For those who don't know, a switchback is a kind of road zigzagging about. So that's why we named the power armor with bones and horns on it after that. I'm probably missing something. You guys can let me know what a switchback is in the comments. And can you do it in a condescending way since I don't know everything? Because that's really a disappointment to everybody. I know. It's fine. It's okay. So we have the Switchback minigun paint. Now this is just like kind of Duke. Now something interesting I noticed when I go to inspect stuff now in my Pip-Boy, there's this box that blocks my entire view that's bugging out for some reason, and I thought it was like a one-time bug, but it's happening with every single thing I inspect, and it did after I logged in and logged back out. So that's just a new thing we have to work with. When you inspect stuff, you can actually see it less because there's something blocking it. Anyway, so this looks something like that. It's just like kind of like there's a little bit of red paint on a minigun. There's a little red skull on it somewhere. In my opinion, it's like whatever. There's a lot of minigun paints, guys, and a lot of them are better than this. So this one's kind of mid, if I were to summarize that. And for the last two things from the bundle, we have, of course, the jetpack and power armor together. Now, this power armor has horns on it. That's so interesting. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like kind of weird and whatever. We've got these Wolverine claws on the arms. Actually, that's more like X-23 claws. If you know, you know. Now, the annoying thing about these claws is they make your hands even bigger, and it doesn't render in when you're in first person and you like block or hold something. All you see is unrendered mush, and that's kind of gross looking, just so you know. And also something hilarious, we've got this massive light up on the shoulder, so I was looking forward to see what the Pip-Boy light would look like. And I'm not even off my meds to laugh like that. Just look at that, guys. It's like literally mad-eye moody fucking lunacy right here. Clown time for real, okay? Why do you have a big fucking light on your shoulder and one of your pupils instead illuminates the night? That makes no sense, guys. How do we see? How do we look? You know, what are our eyes looking out of if there's a light in front of it? Anyway, that's normal. That's fine. But it gets better, guys, because we have the phallic jetpack. This has two circumcised peepees on it, which blast out molten jet fuel. So yeah, if you want to see two of these fantastic peepees propelling you into the night, just like your mom did, then this is the perfect time for you to grab this from the item shop, guys. This is your one chance to look like this, and I wouldn't pass it up. So that's incredible, guys. We also have the Devil's Moon Movie Night Bundle. This stuff is all stuff from a current scoreboard. We just have, I'm not going to read this stuff because it takes up all of my time, but there's a projector, there's popcorn recolor, there's a couple of posters, there's this miniature set. Now this, just so everyone knows, this rubber swamp monster doesn't come in the bundle, even though that is the season where this was given to us in the scoreboard. But it does come with this miniature set, and I do believe that these human beings are not included in this miniature set. I think these are part of the nativity, or not nativity. I believe that these are part of the holiday miniature set of like the little houses and stuff. And I don't think that these buildings come with people. I think it's just a bunch of these pieces. Now, I will say I do use these pieces for clutter a lot, and they're good for like electronic chunks and stuff like that. I've used several of these items before. In fact, the one I use the most isn't even visible in this picture here. You can't even see it. But that's what this is. There's no rubber monster and there's no people, so don't worry about that. And then this, if you don't know, this is Art Deco Theater wallpaper picture. Yeah, that's so great. That's great. But yeah, it's just a bunch of posters, a projector, the miniature city set, and the popcorn machine color, and that's all stuff that's already in the shop. Yeah, it's good. Now we also have the Whirl Wizard, and now this thing says it generates paint cans. Because it is a resource collector, it cannot be built inside of a shelter. Time to repaint the camp and make sure you're well prepared. So I waited for 4 hours and it gave me an empty paint can. But just so you know, guys, this thing does need direct power, and when you turn it on, it jiggles like your mom did last night. Now this is something so weird because, like, I know you're tired of these mom jokes, but I'm tired of them giving us collecting devices that are more decorative in nature and that we can't even put in our shelters, okay? At this point, they need to start selling us the item, and it comes with a decor version that can be placed in shelters. If they're going to continue selling us more and more shelters, especially outdoor ones and urban ones where you would live in, they need to make an item that is decorative only for shelters for every item in the game that they're trying to sell us at this point. If they want to continue selling us shelters, it's only common sense. It would up the value of every item, and no one would have to be like, oh yeah, but I can't actually build that in my shelter, so I'm not going to get it, you know? So adding that non-functional version, which they already have the model for, which so it would cost them nothing, would probably up their sales, but that's too much work, so let's not make money. That's my thinking on it, and personally, I think it's theirs as well. Anyway, I waited about 30 hours and one empty paint can generated, so I don't know if this actually generates paint cans with paint in them. If it does, those will actually have lead when you scrap them down. Otherwise, you're just getting steel, which is one of the most useless items to have a generator for, because it is the most it is the easiest resource to get a massive amount of, so I wouldn't worry about it. And just to mention, because I didn't before, if you want to get the bundle, you can actually get the pieces of the bundle separately. Whoops. Even though they're like kind of dog water, you could just get the phallic jetpack, for example, or the switchback paint without that. But honestly, if I were you, I would not buy a single one of these items, and would, if you do buy one of these items, I would check yourself in immediately to some kind of rehab, maybe go to the eye doctor. Something's wrong, go fix it. We also have some that are 20% off, 25% off, and we have some of these that are 25% off, and some of these that are 25% off. So make sure you grab these for no reason, because that's going to be really important. This is stuff from last week. I made a video on it if you want to check it out. That's gripping and exhilarating. You should check it out. And then we have the greatest hits over here. We have Mall Ally. And this comes with the Super Mutant Backpack. That looks like the That looks like that. It comes with the mean green pose, which is this, believe it or not, and the super mutant paint for the sledgehammer. And then you also comes with a light ally maul. This guy sits at your camp. He has spectacles. He sits on old rotting meat, and he grumps and he snarls and he gets mad and stuff like that. He gives you a special buff, but I don't know what it is, and you guys can tell me in the comments section. And this time again, make sure you say it as nasty as possible. Now we have the Fanatic Scrapper bundle, and if you guys have done the pit season, you will have only one item that you don't have, and that's the red industrial floodlight for 75 atoms, which is actually pretty nice for 75 atoms. Otherwise, you have to get the whole thing, and it's fine, I would assume. Now, this is actually a pretty weird looking skin outfit, and I never have worn it in my life, but I don't mind the Fanatic Auto Axe paint. I think it's kind of cool. And the decapitated doll head flares are... I hate flares. This is probably the only flare that I would actually like want to get, by the way. So that's in this bundle, and then there's also a normal floodlight, and then an industrial floodlight, which is red. So that's in the Fanatic Scrapper bundle. So that's really great. That's amazing. Let's cry about it. We got the Root Cellar bundle. So I actually did a video when they added the Root Cellar shelter to the game. And it was actually a different bundle. It included different stuff. It had some lights in it that are all green and moldy. It had these weird looking plants that looked fake. So honestly, this is a better value than that original bundle, I think, because the Root Cellar shelter itself is actually one of my favorite of the shelters they've added in a long time. I don't do a lot of building in shelters for a number of reasons, but it isn't actually bad at all. There's no pictures except for this tiny one, which doesn't do it justice whatsoever. It's actually like 2 or 3 floors, massive space, lots of rooms, and it's underground. It has like kind of moldy basement vibes. I don't know. It's a cool shelter. I'm gonna link the video where I covered that. If you want to check it out, I won't walk through it and show you the space and everything. But the other items in it include this the ritual votive stand, which is this little thing. It's a filing cabinet that someone put candles on. You got a coffin stash box, and then this is actually pretty cool. It's a worms and shit worm farm. It's a really cool item. I think I actually use it in a lot of my rustic builds. And then this also comes with vines. These 3 vines. Now a lot of people use these vines to make free place walls. But we won't actually have to for very much longer, because if you didn't see my last video, which I'll also link in the description, by the way, if you want to check that out, big changes are coming to building in this game, and we're going to have free placing, like no stupid ass restrictions like we do in custom worlds, in adventure mode. So coming in the big update, they're going to overhaul the UI and camp building menu, which is going to be awesome. And they're giving us the ability to build freely. Now, vines, still a cool building item, but they're not as necessary as they used to be once we have that update, because we won't need them to place walls down on the ground wherever we want. We'll just be able to go ahead and place them. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, this is the Arctos Excavator Power Armor skin. It's a Power Armor skin that can only be placed on Excavator armor, so it's doubly useless. I think the reason why it's so poop is it's one of the oldest skins that I remember them adding to the shop. This is a very OG item. It's whatever, in my opinion. I don't really even like Excavator Power Armor anyway, but that's what that is. If you want it, there it is. We also have the Vault Quarters Shelter. This one's pretty large. It's got a lot of rooms in it. You cannot fill it because the budget's too small. You can pick your poison though, and the poison is going to be, I don't know, I can't come up with a joke fast enough, but here's the West Virginia backpack. This is whatever. I don't own this backpack because I have another one that looks very similar to it, so I just didn't want it. But that's there for $250 if you want more backpack options. That's whatever. The turkey mascot, like, this is really good timing again, guys, because we're in the beginnings of July, so Thanksgiving is right around the corner. And we also have the Tickled Pink Goss minigun paint. Now, this was a free item. It came with one of those like short time little like challenge things that you had to like put the skin on and do stuff with it. I already have this, and it looks like this. It's actually not bad. I like it. But if you missed that event, you can get it now for only 250 atoms. Not bad for like a paint skin or whatever, a weapon skin or whatever you want to call it. Now, the greenhouse porch is pretty stupid looking in my opinion. The only reason I got it was for these fence pieces, which, by the way, are a little bit smaller than half the size of a half glass wall pane. But like I mentioned before, the ability to free place items is coming, and these will have a lot more use. Just having more options in size, especially smaller pieces of wall, are going to be really helpful, and I'm probably going to use these much more once I'm able to just slap them down wherever I want without doing a bunch of tomfoolery. And that's everything here in the greatest of the hits that's ever happened in the game. Wow, the best of the best. Let's move over to the special, and we have the mix-o-matic. This is free for Fallout First for this month, and it's actually, I think, a really, really good item. Because it's free, first of all, it also doesn't need to be directly wired. It doesn't need a lot of power, but you can just place it down next to one of those big utility generators that give off radiant power, or of course next to a conduit, and it'll start churning. And you can of course lock these so no one takes your cement. Now, when you're building a lot, you do burn through a lot of concrete, and so having a concrete collector is really nice. The only other concrete collector that they've made so far is a massive truck, and I also really like the cement mixer. I think it's a cool item, and it collects concrete, of course. But if you want something a little bit smaller and still very immersive, and still, like, this is a well-made item, in my opinion. Like, you know how there's that one person who makes the good stuff? They made this for sure, because it looks really good. It's got a lot of really good detail on it. There's a lot of, like, crusty, dried-on cement on the outside of it. You've got this little belt that's moving, a little motor and everything, little bricks holding it, keeping it from rolling around. It's actually really good. It's a really nice item. It's free, which makes it even nicer. It requires a lot of power, again, but it does collect cement. And if it's like the other cement collector, it'll hold up to 40 before you have to empty it out. So pretty good. You just put that in your camp and leave it there. There's also the pink suit, and I hope to God this is free. I already own it, so that I hope even more that it was free, because can you imagine I spent my mom's money on that? That's crazy. There's also 250 caps, so you can double your savings. If you just grab this, you'll have twice the amount you always had. Crafter's Corner, this is a bunch of the most ancient of all skins for workbenches and such. So if you missed out on the very underwhelming skins, you can grab it there for only $13,000. Over here we have the daily update, daily offer, daily stuff. Today it's eyeballs and bones, so that's going to be good. And I am going to put a thing on the screen of what else is going to be coming this week, because there'll be a new thing every day for 24 hours, and it'll be half off its alleged original price. That is, I'm going to put the thing on the screen if Bethesda puts it on their website. A couple of weeks ago, it took them about 5 hours to put that up, so I didn't have it for the video, but I'm sure they will. They're always on top of things, and I'm sure it'll be a bunch of other weapon skins, because lately they've been doing like the same thing all week, which I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Anyway, that's so interesting, and something that to look forward to is getting a bunch of those skins that you don't know what they look like. So that's something you can really be counting down the days and hours for that. And like I said, guys, make sure you check out that video if you didn't see the changes coming to the PTS, because if you're a camp builder, you're going to be really interested, especially in what is going on, because it's a huge update. It's going to be massive, and I'm really excited about it, and I hope you guys are as well. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my patrons and channel members for your support. If it wasn't for your support, guys, I wouldn't be able to make these videos. I just spent all of Mom's money, ran out, and I had to dip into the Patreonage money. And that's why it's so important to say how thankful I am, because I wouldn't be able to make these videos if it wasn't for the support, and I genuinely appreciate it. If you guys are interested in supporting me in that way, the link for that will be in the description, but honestly, just liking, commenting, and spitting on me is all helpful and does support the channel, and I appreciate it. If you guys aren't in the Discord, make sure you join the Discord. It's a great community, and also, I'm doing this advertising voice to sound more genuine. I hope you really, really like it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.